You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, of course.
No,
I'm learning this shit myself, man. Like I said, I'm learning this, you know.
no,
But
like I look how I got it set up though on my John though. That's on my computer, so we can see when
that's what I
people
gotta
come
start
in.
doing. That's what I gotta
Right.
start doing.
But
Like I
I'm
don't
on
have
my
it set up.
phone though.
Yeah, but you still got it connected with your computer though.
Yeah, I just literally found out how to do this on the fluke, but I've been fucking with computers, so
Yeah,
yeah,
I gotta learn
it's
that.
easy.
I actually might have to get me a I gotta get my laptop cleaned out first, you know, so it could be brought to speed
Yes,
and get a
sir.
new code to get into it. Cause right
Yes,
now I
sir.
can't even get into my patch my thing. I don't know. I forgot the code. So one of my best friends here, computer tech, I'm gonna have him come by on the weekend and check that out for me, man.
With the
So I
cash
can
out.
start doing that as well. But everybody talking about Cepeda versus Tank, man. Listen, Tank don't need no more Mexicans. He don't need no more Spanish fighters under his belt unless it's Teofimo or Shakur Stevenson. I don't want to hear it no more. That's it. It's time to fight some guys with Sasson, not guys that's gonna stand in front of him and wait for their packs to get busted.
And that's why he trying to fight Frank, and I agree because
Yeah,
I don't want to see no more of that either, blood. Like I'm done when seeing him fight. Like I want to see him fight all different types of people.
yeah. You know, we want to see him
Yeah.
fight guys that he got to work for, guys that's gonna make him miss, that he got to cut the ring off, dig to the guts, show different type of skills. We seen him handle a pressure guy with Pitbull. He boxed. That was cool. We seen him against guys that stood in front of him, that came at him. Frank Martin, hopefully they're using Frank Martin to prepare him for Shakur down the road or next. That's what I'm hoping. Me being optimistic.
That's what I think because he fighting a left-hander.
Yeah,
That's what I think. Because then that way they'll all be on the same level. Ryan fighting Devin, getting him a boost, and then Tank can fight Shakur and give him a boost. And they'll both all be on that same level money wise, and then they can just go around fighting each other.
I'm wondering who's Tio gonna fight next. Because right now he's in a spot where Top Rank doesn't really have anybody at 140. They lost some guys. Everybody's tied up.
They've
Subrio's
been
on the
saying
zone.
Arnold Barbosa.
But isn't Arnold Barbosa fighting on the Devon card?
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, Arnold Barbosa's the golden boy. Teofimo's cool with Oscar. I would like that fight just to get that mandatory out the way. Barbosa been trying to press him for a fight. I think that's a fight
Yeah,
that
I
Tio
wouldn't
could look
mind
real
seeing
good.
that.
Yeah, it's competitive because Barbosa's tall. He throws punches, but he's not slick. That's the type of guy that Tio could look good against. Get him out of there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then possibly fight the winner of Devin and Ryan.
Second Ezra said peace to the family. Jay, I got Tank knocking out Shakur. Jay said Tio needs Devin. And then Jay said yes he is. Tio needs Devin to fight and Tank needs to fight Shakur. Yup. They all gonna end up fighting each other, them five people. They all need to be scrapping with each other.
Yeah, I hope so, man. Because 140
They
is
could
between
really
Tio
do
and
it
Devin.
different because they all can be mixing and matching with each other. Pause. Pause.
Yeah,
But
but
that'd be some good ass work, bro, if they was all working with each other.
those are the four most highly skilled fighters right now active today outside of Canelo. As far as, because Canelo been around, he's an OG. But as far as the younger fighters on the skill set level, athleticism, power, defense, everything, those four guys are the most skilled guys, right? You got Shakur,
No,
who's
facts.
probably Shakur might be the best defender out of all of them because he knows how
Yep.
to his range, his range and stuff like that. Very cautious, doesn't take too many chances. He's very slick in there. Devin Haney probably got the best jab out of all of them. Pretty good
Hmm.
defense, knows how to move around. And then you got Tio and Tank have a lot of similar attributes with the athleticism, the power. I think Tio's probably the better defense out of all of them. I think Devin got the better jab. Shakur got the better defense, and Tank is the better puncher. Tank probably the better all around, Because Tank looks like he knows how to cut the ring off. So that's how I see those four
Yeah,
guys.
no, I just want to see them all scrap, so they can mix and match. Pause, cause that'll be some good work. Hit the like button. We got my man Low knows boxing today. My man Low, his name is Low Scire Boxeo.
O sabe
Scire
boxeo, tu sabes.
Scire is a Latin word, means to know. That's where the word science come from the sweet science.
Yeah, facts.
Scire, it's a Latin word for science. It means to know.
I was watching some of your show today earlier. I watched about 30 minutes of it. Y'all was on the boxing voice cooking.
Yeah, we was on there laughing and stuff.
Yeah, I seen that you was grinding nuts up because you was saying that nuts show a little favoritism towards Schofield because he came out with the Dominican colors.
Listen, I had to realize that's what it was because I kept saying, dude's fundamentals is trash, and then he kept like taking up, and then I realized, like, then dog, you just saying because he Dominican, like,
I didn't even know he was Dominican
I ain't neither. Cause I
or
was
half
like,
Dominican.
yeah, whatever, but his fundies is Dominican and need to be in a Dominican trash can.
What is it about his fundamentals that you don't like?
He has nothing. He remind me of Anthony Yard. Play
He's
boxing.
athletic.
Like you think like athlete, and that's my point. People keep equating athleticism to skills, and it's not. It has nothing to do with it. Athleticism means you can run, jump, you got agility, you can look like a boxer, but boxing is so skill based that you can't you can't fake it.
So you don't got
Somebody
Schofield beating nobody there like Keyshawn Davidson, right?
no, hell no, absolutely not.
Keyshawn the bus is packed.
Yeah,
What about Cepeda and Keyshawn? I mean Cepeda and Schofield.
it depends on if um Zapata could take him leaping in hard with them shots and all of that. If he could take the power, Zapata beat Schofield because the fundamentals is going to allow him to outweather that BS, and he'll break Schofield down from
We
just
got
good
Loma and
fundamentals.
Cambosa coming up too.
Yeah, I want to see that because
I
a
think
lot of
Loma
people
gonna.
saying Cambosis is done. He gonna get stopped, but this shit he
I think
might.
Loma gonna stop him.
He might.
He might, and you gotta give Lomachenko credit, man. I know you wasn't really high on Loma at one point, but Lomachenko did show
No,
that
listen,
he's a
blood.
dog.
You gotta. That's because he wasn't showing me nothing. You gotta show me something, bro. You can't just out here thinking you tough. Like, no, bro, it don't work like that. Like, yeah,
Out of
I'm
the
good.
European
Second
guys,
Ezra, is you good, nigga? Huh?
Lomachenko took more chances than Triple G in terms of fighting
Man,
top
that's
guys.
a fact, bro.
Because Triple G
That is
only
a
fought
fact.
Canelo. He didn't get no work with Charlo. Loma getting work with
Loma
everybody.
getting work, bro. That's why I'm saying I could deal with Loma because he actually getting work, bro.
Yeah, he been in there
Like
with
he
Devin.
actually like I like Loma now.
He been in there with T.O. He been in there with Gary.
Like
You
I
know,
actually like him now, bro, because
he
he
was calling
actually
out Tank at
getting
one
work.
point. Yeah, he was calling out Tank at one point.
Like, listen, you know what made me like him? And it's gonna sound crazy, but when he lost to Devin and he was crying, that's when I was like, all right, so now he can come off the high horse thinking he's doing something he's not. Yeah, dude, my young man broke you down in there for real. Even though it was controversial.
It was a close fight. When I watched it the first time, I had Loma winning because I was watching it off emotion and the crowd, and I was,
Hmm.
But then after watching it two more times, I scored it for Devin 7-5.
Man, he just went to his body so good.
The body shots made the difference. Lomachenko wasn't countering the body shots. He was just covering up and jumping back in the air like he didn't like it. And he been doing that for the longest. He did it with Salido. He did it with Tio. He never worked on that.
And that's the thing, like, it's not just going to the body, it's sometimes when people, it's not that people don't know, it's not that the body shots is they hurt them too, but they don't know how to come back from that with punches or anything. So they just get out of there.
Yeah, he wasn't bending his knees and trying to catch the shots with his elbow and coming back with counters and nothing.
That's that amateur shit. That's why.
Yeah, so but Lomachenko is still a great fighter, you
No,
know.
I like him. He be working.
But there's certain
Man,
styles that would give him trouble because he don't like certain type of styles. I think Pitbull Cruz would give him a tough fight. I'm not
oh
saying
yeah,
Pitbull beat
most
him.
definitely, most definitely because he gonna come to him.
Mexican style for real.
Yeah, that's what Salido.
Yeah. I think Ryan will give him trouble.
Who Lomachenko?
Yeah.
He'll stop Lomachenko.
You think he'll stop him?
Yeah, he too big.
Yeah, let me get these headphones on right here.
Yeah, them Jones hard, dog. You gotta get them.
Yeah,
I'm happy for you. I want to do a live with you when you got your equipment, so you can, you know what I mean.
yeah, I'm about to put these on now. Let me see.
You there?
You can hear
Yep.
me?
Yeah,
Can't hear you. Let me connect.
I can hear you. Ricardo said, "Why did Devin run out the ring when Shakur pulled up?" Cuz man,
All right, now I can hear you. Yeah. So I don't think Lomachenko will stop. I mean, I don't think Ryan will stop him
Sabril Matias is cool. He just don't got no defense. He'll get his pack buster doing that.
against who?
Tiafimo, listen,
Yeah. That's the
you will
fight
see
I
a
want for
high,
Tio.
you will see a highlight reel knockout.
That's the fight that I want for Tio, because that's the fight right there. Because boxing fans, bro, they're so fickle. 1 minute they riding you. As soon as you have a performance that's not that good, they want to start talking crazy. I think
That's all right.
Sabril, Sabril will be the fight that, like you said, it'll be a highlight. It'll be a bad knockout.
Like you know why too? He's just enough fundamental to get knocked out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it'd be different if he was wild, like kind of like Maidana, because it's hard to knock that because they be awkward. You know what I'm saying?
You can't time where it's hard to time where them punches are coming from.
Not even
You're
that,
right.
just what they be doing with their head on defense when you trying to hit them. They be doing all types of awkward movements. See, that's what some
Hmm.
people don't realize. When you in there with an awkward head moving person, you don't practice to hit somebody moving like that. That should be hard to hit.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you something right now. You know what this is, right?
Sea monsters.
That's the honorable Seymour's. I'm gonna show you how I consume it, so it can taste good. But yeah, you was cooking about Subio. Go ahead.
I'm just saying he
He got enough
fundamental enough.
fundamental. Yeah,
That's what's gonna get him knocked out because he stay fundamentally sound with his hands and his head. Don't do too much moving.
Sort of like Richard Comey.
Yeah, he there to get
Yeah, and I
stuck.
could see T.O. catching him in the middle of an exchange, in the middle of him punching. I could see him catching him with a big shot and putting him
That's
down.
T.O.'s thing.
So I take the CMOS, right? What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna show you what I mix it with.
If T.O. went to the body more than I really seen him go to the body in fights when he fought Lomachenko.
Yeah, he did some good body work.
Listen, that fight
There
was
was a
so
fight.
funny. Lomachenko was running around that ring from the first round to like the eighth or ninth round.
I mix the CMOS with applesauce. That's what I do.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I knew you was
And I
gonna
just
say
mix
that,
it up.
bro.
Yeah, I just mix it up like that, and that's it. Might throw a little honey on it. That's what I'm gonna do right now. But yeah, like I said, the fight that you gotta watch where Tio did good body work besides the Loma fight, there was a fight on the Bud Crawford Amir Khan card. He fought a guy named Dennis Tacky, I believe his name was. And
Hmm.
he stopped him with a straight right to the body. And he was mixing up his body attack, like he was fading, like he was gonna jab, and then he would throw like a left awkward uppercut to the stomach and come back up with the right hand. And he's very creative inside the ring. And even though he does some unconventional things sometimes, he's not like a Roy Jones or
Mm-mm.
what's the Arab guy? Nassim Hamed. He's
Yemenis,
not
yeah.
yeah, Yemenis. He's not like that where his fundamentals is not he got more fundamentals, but he relies on his athleticism. But it's not like Roy. Like Roy's super athletic. You know what I mean?
Roy was unreal, bro.
Exactly.
But Roy still used fundamental offense. Like he might not jab you per se, but he used the jab to get the distance of the hook, the lead hook.
Yeah, he'll paw with it.
Yeah, that's what I was explaining to Ness. Like I'm like, Kid Austin doesn't do that, bro. Like he just be jumping in, throwing wild shots. Like
Yeah, I'm not too impressed
he
with what I saw.
listen, I can't even watch him, bro. It's cringy.
It gets boring because they turn into clinch messes. You know what I mean?
I was like, man, and then I was like, Ness was like, you gotta watch some other fights. He was like, you must got the God eye. You could just, I said, bro, Ness. I was like, I'm sorry, I watched 1,000 hours.
Your audio went off.
Oh my bad, I made a mistake and hit the mute button. I was like, Ness, bro, I'm sorry, I watch 1,000,000 hours of boxing, but y'all think I just watch all types of boxing. No, I watch old school boxing. When I come back into the present world, out of the golden era, this his fundamentals are trash. I'm like, and plus he giving himself headbutt cuts from headbutts.
That's what I'm saying. He jumping in too much, man. He's smothering his own work by doing that.
I'm like, when it gets detrimental when you cutting your own head up, I'm like, you beating your own ass.
He done that before in the past.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, man, listen. Then when I seen who his dad was, it made me angry, kind of,
Wow. What about his dad?
because when these niggas don't be real boxing coaches, they just be somebody daddy. There's no way a real boxing coach will have you boxing like that. You telling me anybody that really actually boxed and laced them up? gonna have you doing that, Dave? No, they're
Mm,
not. They're not, bro. That's what be making me mad. It's like, listen, pops, promote your son, get a real coach, have a seat. I tell him to his face, respectfully. I respect you as
yeah.
a man and everything you do. But in all honesty, your son's fundamentals are ass.
See that's why with Danny Garcia, right? His father wasn't a boxer, but he wasn't just trained by his father. Danny Garcia was in the gyms in Philly. He been around, and I seen Richardson.
But at least Danny had fundamentals.
Oh yeah, yeah, Danny, of course.
Listen,
But
this is when it gets bad for you. It don't matter who training you, nigga. If your mama training you, if you got good fundamentals and you're winning with it, the moment you get in your pack busted, no, blood, that's not it. It's not it. It's not it. I'm sorry. You must regroup the whole John, cause you this is not that's not working, bro. You 20. Then it was like he only 21. You compare. I compare all boxers to all boxers. I don't care if you Floyd, Mayweather, Sugar Ray. All boxers at one point were 21 years old.
look at
Tommy
Wilfredo
Hearns was
Benitez,
that he was a champion for 5 years, and you talking about this
17.
kid need more time to grow? No,
Yeah, seven. You're right. 17 years old, and mind you, Benitez wasn't 17 with just 10 fights. He had about I don't know how many fights, but he had fights under his belt before
and
becoming a
Ryan
champion.
Garcia been if I'm not mistaken been a pro since he was 17. And he what, 25? That's 8 years, bro.
Yeah,
He don't be listen. We be saying he don't take boxing serious, but why he don't box like us? I seen him on the mitts today. You look
with
pretty
Derrick
sharp
James.
with it. Yeah, he looked pretty sharp in there.
Yeah, I seen it.
He was listen. I could tell the way he hit the mitts. He got some power. He a Leo.
No, Ryan Garcia can punch. There's no doubt about that.
Troy, you sparred Amari Jones. Do you think he will be a pound for pound fighter? No, and he need work. He need that. Listen, y'all, that shit. And it sound when I say no, it sounds like I'm hating, but I'm not. That's what I was telling Ness. Like, something he was running saying. I'm like, well, listen, bro. I spar some of these young kids. They come to the gym. They think it's a joke. Yeah, like I sparred like Amari. He's a big kid, but didn't know it don't work like that with me. I dictate what going in there unless you really got that, unless you really work. Like my man Rudy Puga, he really got sauce and he got crack and he huge and he kind of big, kind of. Unless you like Prentice, you gotta have real. You gotta be a little bit big and you gotta have real experience. Even smaller than me. Schofield, Floyd Schofield fights frustrated. Your trainer is important, but the boxer has to do his own fundamentals individual. Second Ezra, you are absolutely correct. Dave, like, do you if you had a trainer and you was professionally boxing, would it be times on your own that you just got out here and got your work in?
Say that again.
I said, say you had a trainer and you was boxing professionally. Would you do your own due diligence or work outside of your trainer, or would you just only do what your trainer say, or would you really be like,
No,
getting
I'm still gonna watch. I'm still gonna watch the greats, and I'm still gonna look at stuff that I see them do that works, and I'm gonna practice on it, and I'm gonna bring it to my coach. Now let's work on this.
I couldn't have said it better. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Cause I don't want to hear. Cause one time I was at a gym before. There was at a gym I was at in New York called Kingsway Boxing Gym. Rest in peace to Michael Elijah.
shout out to Junior.
You heard of Michael Elijah? He fought Tommy Hearns,
That
and I think
sounds familiar.
I think he had an injury like you with his eye. He was blind out of one eye. Whatever, his career had to be over.
Mhm.
Michael Elijah Jr. Right? His
Yes, sir.
father his father passed away also. God rest his soul. And I was at the gym, and when I went there at the time, only thing I knew was basic fundamentals that my uncle taught me because my uncle fought in the Marines. He boxed in the Marines. He always told me
Mhm.
keep your chin down, keep your hands up, throw your punches short and straight, and move your head side to side. That's what he told me because that's what he knew. But the main jewel he gave me was watch the guys and learn from the guys that you watch. He liked Oscar De La Hoya a lot, so he wanted me to learn some things from Oscar and the guys that I watch. So when I went to the gym with Michael Elijah, he was trying to teach me to fight like this. Look, he wanted me to hold my hands, you see, like this, right? Mind you, at the time, I was more basic fundamentals like that, right? At the time, he
Mhm.
wanted me to be like that. I felt awkward. You know, that's how he fights. That's how he fought.
Yeah,
That's how
like
his
I don't
son
like
fights.
when trainers be doing that.
So then when I was doing certain moves that I seen Oscar De La Hoya move, he said, no, don't do that, don't do that. I'm like, yo, that works for Oscar De La Hoya, man. That works. That's a real good move, you know?
Yeah, like trainers be mad when they don't know how to teach some of this stuff.
A lot of trainers are very I don't want to say egotistical, that's not the right word. I'm gonna say
No,
prideful.
that
Like
is actually the right word.
they just wanna teach you their way. They don't want you to learn nothing else. And they like an ego thing, you know? Like
It is.
there's so many things in boxing you can learn. Like nobody got it all down packed. You have to be an open mind to be willing to learn. That's why I disagree when you say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You could if that dog is willing to learn the new tricks.
It's willing to learn, bro. That's really that simple. It's all about willing to learn.
You
You
added more
got
tools
to.
to your toolbox. That's all.
No, it's a fact. You gotta be willing to learn them Jones. Like people don't be willing to learn. Yeah, like that's why I was just coming on here talking earlier. Like, no, listen, bro. Like they like, man, we need to build up these boxers. I'm like, listen, I am gonna build him up. Get in the gym and work on your fundies. They trash.
That's why I have a lot of respect for Oscar De La Hoya as a fighter because he changed, right? When he was coming up, he became pro. Everything he did in the amateurs worked for him to a certain degree, right? Once he had a tough fight at 130 against John Molina. It was a tough fight that he struggled because he
Hmm.
used to be kind of stiff when he fought. After that fight, he went back to the lab. He wasn't happy with his performance. He went and hired a Mexican legend, a defensive Mexican fighter by the name of Miguel Canto. He's an old school Mexican with real good defense. And next thing you know, Oscar came back, started moving his head, looking slick, started using the lead hand to like measure. He
See
came back
that
looking
that
real swift after
that's
that.
some that dog. That's like a story. Like them type of
Within one
stories.
fight,
Just that shit just make me hype. Like when somebody goes outside of their way to grasp somebody else to teach them something. That's tough.
and you
That's
come
just
back and
so
implement
tough.
it. You see, it's a
Yeah,
difference
that's
when you're
just
doing it and you're wasting their time. He came back and learned. Like if you watch his fight with John Molina, and then his very next fight, he knew he was gonna fight Rafael Ruelas for the title at 135. He came back and started doing all that slipping and moving his head and stuff. He got that from Miguel Canto. He's still with him for a while. And then when he moved up after that thing, he been through a lot of trainers, but Oscar learned from all of them. When he had Emmanuel Stewart, he started using his jab even more. When he had
man.
Floyd
I ain't even
Sr.,
know. Hey, bro, he was with Emmanuel Stewart.
yeah, because his knockouts kind of like slowed down. So he brought in Emmanuel Stewart to teach him how to throw the right hand better. I
Damn, he
followed
was in
Oscar's
there.
whole career.
Listen,
that was my
that
uncle's favorite
Oscar
fighter.
gets respect, bro. That's
Yeah,
hard.
man.
No wonder, like, that. Listen, bro, that's what it takes.
Let me tell you all the
Like,
guys
if
he
you
had.
not doing that, like, what are you doing?
He had Miguel Canto, he had Emmanuel Stewart, he had Floyd Senior, he had
Oh, he
Nacho
definitely had
Baristine,
Floyd. He
and
definitely
he
had
had Nacho
Nacho.
Baristine, and he had Freddie Roach for one fight only near the end. But I'm not gonna include that. But that was, you know what, you got to give him credit for that because that was for the Floyd fight, and he did give Floyd a good fight. So Freddie Roach, got to give a shout out to Freddie Roach for that also. You know what I mean?
No, no, facts. No, I'm a
Freddie
Freddie
really been
Roach
in
get
there.
his piece.
Yeah, Freddie probably wasn't an elite level fighter, but he got it. He got work. He fought and he was trained. Maybe he might not be skilled, but he knows tools because he was trained by Eddie Futch.
Yeah, no, no, Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach is a good trainer, dog. Everybody got they thing they do, but for Freddie Roach to do, he still be listen. The fact that he has Parkinson's, bro, and he's still getting work says enough. Hold on, some of these people saying Jay said fundamentals. Tyrone said watch the greats because they build off the fundamentals. Second,
Exactly.
Ezra says you must sharpen your fundamentals. The flashy stuff will come.
Yeah.
Keenan
If
Boz Keenan say all these dudes from 126 to 35 was scared of Loma until he got a little age on him, including Tank. Listen, that don't count over here. Ain't no excuses. Because Roberto Duran got older, had been stopped, and still came back and was literally
beating
putting
dudes in their
garlic butter
20s,
sofrito
he
on
put garlic
people.
butter sofrito with extra butter on Davy Moore.
No, listen.
He
He
cooked them.
he cooked him with the sazon garlic butter sazon glaze.
Yo, he stir fried him, bro. That was
No,
one of
yeah,
his,
he
in my opinion, that probably was his best performance, or one of
sauced
them
him.
at least.
Listen, he that hold on. I'ma
That beat
honestly
down, bro.
say, I'ma honestly say, if you got your pack busted open and we seen that the food that we was eating was good, then he got the pack busted and the garlic butter
Yo, and
sofrito
prayers,
sazon.
prayers for Roberto Duran, by the way, man. I seen James
Oh
Tony
yeah,
posted
most
something.
definitely. I did see
I don't
that.
know what he's going through. He going through
Positive
something right now.
energy to Roberto
He going,
Duran and his health.
yeah, yeah, he going through something with his health right now. So prayers to
Yeah,
him. You
no,
know what I
most
mean? Definitely.
definitely.
I mean, prayers
Everybody
for
who
him, man.
fought Tank, including Frank, said his power is not all of that. Shakur is the man. You can't just say he gonna stop him. Listen, bro. This is the thing where on this channel the facts remain. You can say the power is not all of that. Then why are people going to bed?
So Tank's power is definitely real.
Listen, the person he gonna have a problem with when you put him in there is a Mexican style fighter like Pitbull. He's unpredictable and he's throwing hard, sharp hooks.
Yeah, Pitbull
Pitbull
punches
don't
too.
even Pitbull. Yeah, ain't he not wild? Like he say Pitbull, but he's technical with his aggression, even his punches. Listen, when I first seen Pitbull, dog, he came directly to a man and was going to it. I forgot dude who he stopped in the corner.
I know
Um,
you're talking about Tio fought him too. His name is damn. Let me get his name right now.
you know who I'm talking about.
I know
Listen,
you're talking about. He got him. Homeboy made the mistake and tried to fight him on the inside, and he put him out.
dog, Pit. That's when I was like,
Diego
hold on,
Magdaleno. Diego Magdaleno.
Man, Magdaleno or
Yeah,
Magdaleno.
that's the one
Yeah,
that Tio fought him, and Tio knocked him out bad
yeah.
too. I remember
Tio
that.
knocked
Yeah,
him out the double hooky John. Yeah,
yeah,
Magdaleno. Listen, Pitbull put pieces together. Listen, dude can scrap, so you gotta
yeah.
like.
And he
That's
got
when I
underrated
noticed.
defense. He got
No facts,
underrated
cause the
defense.
way he
He's not
hold it.
just
Listen, his style is my bad, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
no. Go ahead. You talking? That was my bag. I was bagging in my bag. Go ahead.
No, you good, blood. Cause I'm really
No, I
trying to
wasn't. I
work.
wasn't. I wasn't talking. That was you. Go ahead. Finish up. We say what you
No,
were saying.
No, I really been trying to do work better at like not cutting people off, and you know what I mean, like just
I got the
really
same
trying
problem too, bro. Trust me.
to dog. But it's good for us because we don't really trip. But dog, I'm just saying like Pitbull, seeing that. That's what made Tank uncomfortable. The technical skill and the way he boxed, like with his head,
He
like that's a
catches.
defense in his jaw in
You
itself.
seen the move he did? He threw a jab at Tank. This is how you know he got defensive responsibilities, right? This is what he did. Let me show you what he did. He threw he threw a jab at Tank. Tank pulled back, went to hit him with the uppie. He missed the jab and still went down like that and caught the uppercut with his guard. And I believe that might have been the one that hurt Tank's hand.
Yeah, that is, that
Pitbull got
is.
un,
You absolutely right, bro.
he got underrated defense. He's not some come forward punching bag. He's not a Brandon Rios or nothing like that. He come forward. He got defense. He got head movement. He catches punches. Pitbull is definitely a tough one.
My man said Duran was different, King
Yeah.
Keenan, and then Keenan said ain't nobody else Duran, just like ain't no Tupac. That's a fact. Second, Ezra said Pitbull didn't look good in his last fight. Who did he fight last?
He fought some tall dude,
Oh yeah, of
Dominican dude.
course. Yeah, like
Yeah.
come on, no, that's given. Like that calls for an ugly fight when you fighting somebody like that.
Yeah, and let's try to say that Pitbull should have lost that fight. I disagree. He ain't look good, but like I said, people have short term memory. They want to say, "Oh, Pitbull's not good now." I go by all the fights that I seen him look good at. I'm not gonna go by one performance. People,
No, I'm telling you, if I watched this fight and the tall dude was jabbing and moving around, was that what was going on?
yeah.
I mean that's the stereotypical. That's a ugly fight for a person as short as Pitbull and the way he fight, cause like his style is made to be in there. Like Tank, the reason why is because Tank is not that much taller. So a couple steps, he right in Tank's face. Tall dude is jabbing and moving like that's gonna be an ugly fight no matter what.
You know,
Unless tall
Pitbull kind
dude
of
could
reminds
have the
me of.
power to stop it.
You know, Pitbull fights like
Facts, he did
in
have
the
the power.
'90s. In the '90s, there was a welterweight named Larry Barnes. He didn't have the power to like Pitbull, but he was more athletic. He was real short. He was a welterweight, probably about 5'3".
He
He fought
fought
Trinidad.
Giovanni Cabrera.
Oh, you talking about Pitbull? I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, they said he fought Giovanni Cabrera. Yep,
yeah.
that's his name, Giovanni Cabrera. Yeah, but go ahead, finish.
Larry Barnes was a welterweight in
Yes,
the
sir.
'90s. He fought a lot
Larry
like Pitbull.
Barnes.
He was very short. He would come forward bobbing and weaving. He fought Felix Trinidad. He gave Trinidad trouble in the early rounds till Trinidad figured him out
Mm,
and walked him into a left hook and put him out. But he used to
put
fight
him
like
with
Pitbull
the
Cruz.
same thing. Larry who?
Larry Barnes.
Barnes. Not
Barnes,
Bonds,
yeah.
Barnes.
The
Larry
Barnes.
Barnes.
B-A.
Y'all gotta look up
Yeah.
Larry Barnes. Listen, Low definitely is Siete Boxeo. He knows boxing. Larry
Yeah, man.
Barnes, like you gotta that's a name that you gotta know. Like you
Yeah,
should
he
look
was
that
he
y'all
was
gotta look
pretty
that
good.
up.
He was a decent fighter at 147. He just happened to be fighting at the era where the guys that was champions, he wasn't beating those guys. But he was a good fighter. He fought like
No, no,
Pitbull. He just ain't have
facts.
the
That's
power.
that's that's facts. That's facts. It sometimes it be them errors where it be Jordan caused a lot of niggas not to get them rings.
Obakar was never a champion. Obakar was slick. He was with Emmanuel Stewart. But
Oh
once
yeah, I
again,
remember him. He fought Oscar.
he fought everybody. Trinidad was the first one to fight him. He fought Trinidad. He dropped Trinidad. Trinidad knocked him out in the eighth
Sheesh.
round. He fought Ike Forte. He fought Oscar. He was a good fighter, man. He could have been a champion. He would have been a champion right now. The 147 landscape, with the exception of Boots and Bud, Obakar would beat those guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We probably would.
147 is not
I'm
deep
on
right
this
now with
fucking
that.
camera looking stupid. He probably would beat him though. That would be some good work. Cause that just that old school pedigree of Emmanuel Stewart will have you like it that type of boxing is better served in this era. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
if we think about it, that boxing is better served in this era. So we really can't deny Emmanuel Stewart's pedigree.
absolutely
Can't do
not.
it. That's
Manuel
crazy.
Stewart
Yeah,
is the man.
Giovanni Cabrera, he fought. Yeah, like it'd be hard to. That's the thing. Those stylistic matchups. Now, say Pitbull had a, a a better defense with catching punches and a little bit more slickness on the head movement. The fight would have been a little bit easier with the taller guy.
Yeah, exactly. If he would have fought more like Mike Tyson with the defense, because he don't got the head movement of Mike really. If he had the
Listen,
Mike
bro.
Tyson style,
No, you go ahead.
no. That's exactly what after that. If he had the Mike Tyson style in terms of his defense, his pickable head movement coming forward, Pitbull will be more effective.
Dog, listen, bro. When you add head movement to any style, it automatically becomes 50% better. No, 66% better.
Speaking of Mike Tyson, we ain't touched on this, man. How do you see that thing playing out with him and Jake Paul? Honestly,
They said they're not about to let him get in there and be going hard. Marco
what
said
you
they
mean?
got rules. If it
What
gets
rules?
too competitive, the ref will not have it.
But what if Mike Tyson knocks him out?
That's what I was telling people. Like, I don't think they're gonna let it. I don't think they're gonna let it do too much because Mike is older and he still be moving, and Jake is young and he can get hurt. But then also, Mike is older and Jake is young, and Mike could take a headshot and not be the same because he older. So I'm like, and they probably Marco was saying that they got like the competitive rules, like some certain type of rules where it can't be overly competitive, like they can't be doing too much.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, Marco was watch the John we did I think today, and then he was talking about the competitive. They it's like this is the thing though. Marco was saying, he said the same. They got the same competitive rules that James Tony and Razor Ruddock had. It's just that them guys is actual pros, and one was a pro and one is a young kid, but a older pro. And you don't, and I don't think they're gonna let nobody get hurt. And I really think it's for Jake Paul.
Because I was gonna say at first when it was first announced, I was like, Tank, not Tank, Mike gonna beat him. But you look at Mike's career. Near the end of his career, he was getting stopped by guys that were, I don't like saying bums, but I'm gonna say guys
Oh,
that
I
are
get it.
low level guys were stopping him, and he was what in his 40s maybe when he retired, maybe late 30s. He's 60 now,
Yeah, yeah,
and
that was a
Jake
different
Paul,
Mike.
that was a different Mike in terms of what
Mentality.
you saying his mental's better now.
Clearly.
Yeah,
You know what
but
I'm
Jake,
saying?
I could.
Like that Mike was really listen, bro. Think about that Mike Tyson back then. He was mentally it was Lord, listen, bro.
He
He
was
has
all
had
over
a
the place.
real journey, bro. The end of Mike's career when he was losing to Them he was getting stopped by them weirdos. That's when he was like literally, you knew he was trying to get bread. Like
But the
it
point
was
I'm
just a completely different
Jake
mentality.
Paul, Jake Paul, whether you like it or not, Jake Paul is a boxer. At
No,
the end
no,
of the day,
listen, Jake Paul can scrap. I don't care about it.
yeah, he's not on the highest level,
He's
but
developed some skill.
yeah. So Mike Tyson would lose to somebody like that because Jake Paul is still a novice boxer. Tyson, somebody that hasn't fought in years, 60 years old, in good shape, but he's still older. But Mike Tyson, if he were to land a good shot early, he could knock Jake Paul out.
Man, listen, bro. J- M- Jake Paul is a cruiserweight, and Mike Tyson is still 220. He's still a natural size heavyweight man.
What about Jake
He's
Paul and Edgar
still.
Berlanga?
Oh, what? Absolutely not, bro. Edward Belonga would break his back.
Thank you, man. Somebody had the nerve to argue that with me. One of my boys was like, "Yo, he should fight Berlanga." I said, "Bro, just Berlanga might not be on the highest level compared to the guys where he's at, but
Man,
Berlanga would
I'm not
destroy
trying to
Jake
hear
Paul.
that.
Berlanga really has amateur pedigree.
Man,
Let's
the
not
Jake
forget he
Paul
really.
lost to Tyson Fury's little brother who looked weird.
And even though Berlanga's 168, Berlanga don't got to be 168. He could go in the ring 185 and bust Jake Paul's pack.
Berlanga is kind of big, bro. He got a decent size on him. Like, all
Yeah.
but Berlanga could need to be with. Listen, this who the dude Schofield need to train with the Reynosos, and Berlanga do too. The way Berlanga throws and delivers punches and hooks and power. If just to think if he had Canelo's style of defense, catching punches and slight slips, coming back with them hard shots, man, and the kid Schofield, cause he got that body like that stocky body. When I said it, they was like, no, he need to, he need to go to Sean Porter's dad.
Nah, from one dad to another dad, nah, man.
I said, why? To learn how to headbutt better? To be a man, that pause. Like, man, what? Like, come on, Dave. Like, man, when is these people gonna start training people on their deficiencies in the ring, bruh? Like, you're not gonna work on nobody. What? And this the thing that I don't get down with in boxing and don't adhere to. When you come to me to learn, we're working on what you're not good at. You're gonna have to get that down pat. I don't care what it is. Until we fix those things, no, you're not ready to be doing nothing serious because you got too many chinks in your armor. Like,
That's facts.
I don't know what people be talking about, bro. I was like, man, why would he go to someone to learn how to not have fundamentals? What's wrong with just making him do things fundamentally so he can actually use the athleticism in a fundamental construct? That's what this video was about. Fundies, bro. Fun day or die mental. Fun, we know what that means. Day means of. Ment means mental. Fun of mental. That's what fundamental means. It's like KuernoDeChivo. Horn of goat. Fundamental. Fundamental. It's the same. That if you don't have though, and they was like, well, he needs to grow. Listen, this man is 21. He's already had two big cuts and all. Man, he not even gonna get to a big fight. And when they do, he gonna get the Earl Spence treatment. They gonna
Yep.
bust his pack.
Once again, when Oscar De La Hoya made that change,
Man,
I don't know
that's
how old he
hard.
was.
That's tough.
Oscar De La Hoya was in his early 20s, He made a change after he had a trainer that took him from the Olympics all the way to the pro. Once he realized that that wasn't going to help him on the highest levels, he went and switched up and brought in Miguel Canto.
he
And
changed
whenever
that shit up.
and when he felt he needed more than that, he brought in Emmanuel Stewart. And he ain't just bring them in just for name value. He actually learned and implemented what they taught him.
No,
That's the
Oscar
difference.
was. I respect Oscar even more now because like it was one thing getting a gold medal and then still becoming a five-time champion and getting it, and then really
Oscar got older
some,
work
and he really got with some different
since
trainers. Like he didn't
yo
have no prejudice. He was
when he
getting
went
it,
in
and listen,
there.
Oscar
When
was getting niggas paid.
And let me tell you something. When Oscar went to 147, right? This what shows you that he was getting work for real. At 147, that was the glamour division. That was where you had Trinidad, which is Puerto Rico versus Mexico. You had Purnell.
Hmm.
Those are the big names there. He went and fought Ike Quartey. Before fighting Trinidad, he fought Ike Quartey. How you gonna fight Ike Quartey knowing that's a dangerous fight? It's not for unification because they had stripped Quartey of his belt because Quartey didn't want to do the mandatory because he wanted the Oscar fight. So they stripped him. He fought an African when he could have just said, you know what, I'm gonna duck this guy and let me just make a
No,
big money.
Oscar was
He
trying to get work.
yeah. He could have just went straight and you know what, let me try to get the Trinidad fight. No. Trinidad wasn't available at the time. He went and got Ike Quartey. Ike Quartey was Subaru Matias times 10.
That's crazy.
He had a jab. He come forward with the jab. He had defense. Ike Quartey was like Subaru
Wait,
Matias as
when was
far as
I
the
Corte Ghanaian?
he was Ghana, yeah.
Yeah, Ghanaian. Yeah, they produce good
Yeah.
fighters.
Yeah, Ike Quartey was a killer. Ike Quartey would be ducked today if he fought.
But the Ghanaians produce good boxers.
Azuma Nelson.
Yeah, facts. They got a couple good Ghanaian fighters out of there. Joshua Kaladi,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
Joshua Clottey was pretty decent. He was never the champ, but he was a good fighter. He
And
gave Cotto
Joshua
work. He
Kaladi was
gave
scrap.
Margarito work. No, he gave Margarito and Cotto work.
He used to be in that high guard giving folks
Yeah.
work.
The only person that outclassed him was Pacquiao. When he fought Pacquiao, he
Yeah,
kept his hands in his pocket. He was not trying to open up. But he gave
that was
Corte,
that was
yeah, he
he
gave
had
Cotto a
word
fight.
High Corte, yes.
Yeah, like
And that's what
Corte
I'm
was
saying. Like if you're not going to like it's one thing like you're not disciplined, so that's why you switching coaches. But then it's one thing when you're going to coaches, picking up some of their skills to get you like Oscar got that bread for real.
Cotto did the same thing too. Cotto got better when he
Facts.
picked up Emmanuel Stewart. He was
With
using his
Stewart, he did.
he always had a jab, but he was using it more while he was on his toes and stuff like that, which he wasn't doing before. And then when he got back with Freddie Roach brought the animal back in him, to come forward, go to the body. Because Freddie Roach, he's an aggressive trainer,
No
aggressive style
facts.
trainer.
Second Ezra say without fundamentals, you can't counter attack your opponent's attack. That's a fact. You just getting your brains and people going upside your head all the time. Like that's why I just respect Canelo Alvarez because he really got that skill. Like over time, it you could clearly see his skill growing. Like watch
What you
the
think was
beginning
Canelo's best
Canelo and
performance?
now. His best performance,
Yeah,
dang dog, that's a good one because he
I
got
like.
some good
Yeah, go
Jones.
ahead. He
I don't
he had
know.
some
You
good ones.
go.
As far as his offense, his best performance as far as his offense and combination was when he busted um Riverside Rockies pack.
Oh yeah, he was throwing
When
some
he,
pieces.
as far as his defense. had to be when he fought Danny Jacobs.
Jacobs. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Man,
And
that
then
Golovkin second fight,
that was a great
that
performance. The
listen,
Billy
that
Joe
was a
too.
yeah. And then it was one fight. Dog, I like the Laura fight, dog, cause he literally listen, bro. The Laura fight, I'ma really be honest with you. From about the third round, from the rest of the fight, he was coming at Laura full throttle,
I don't
throwing
think that was.
nothing but power shots hard as he. Listen, bro, with the Laura fight, when I rewatched that, I was like, let me go back and see when did he start this attack, so I could have something to counteract. And I seen him like, when did he start to grab? Man, when I seen that he started in the third round, and every round he was coming to Laura with non. I was like, that's crazy, and throwing nothing but power shots. I was like, dude is sick. Dude's sick. And then for some reason, I like the Kovalev fight because he was losing. He was losing, bro, and he had to pull that James Tony type of work and get the stoppage. And I'm not. I don't care if Kovalev is old. I don't care nothing about that. He stopped him, bro.
He was
And
still a
nobody
champion.
ever seen that fight coming in Canelo's career. A fight against Kovalev. Nobody ever seen that. That's crazy. And him and Bivol, like that, I'm gonna watch that Bivol fight again. But I really want to see Bivol and Better Biz.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good fight. Beaver and Better Beef.
Hmm.
I gotta watch more Better Beef though. I haven't really watched enough of him.
Listen, dog. Better Biz got some decent little skill. No, he more than decent. It's not that he got crazy power, bro, but he definitely can punch and he do subtle shit. But then when you really like today, I was watching him when he was fighting the dude that Canelo's people be training now, Vazdik.
Zudo, oh Vazdik.
Yeah. When I watched that fight, Vazdik was giving him work. Like Vozdik's face wasn't even blew out. That's what I'm like. How was Better Be hitting this hard? His face wasn't even marked up or nothing from Better Be. It looked like maybe his nose got a little broke, but you couldn't tell. But other than that, I'm really trying to think about it. Vosdick ain't no really trying. Vosdick and Better Be was a good fight. It's just that Better Be can do any. He got different types of skills, bro. Like on top of his constant pressure. And one time he dropped his hands and Vosdick threw a jab. He slipped it, and then he kind of like hopped to the side. You know how like you square up, and then you like he did this. He did it in smoke, cuz. He did this. He was in the ring with Vosdick and he was like, Vosdick threw a jab and he was squared up to Vosdick. And when Vosdick threw a jab, he was like, slip. And then he was like, slip, slip, boom, and hit him with. I was like, oh my God. Like he slipped like this, like slip, slip. And then he cocked the right hand over, like, bang, and hit him with a right hook. I'm like, ooh, that was a good ass move. And then
I didn't see that fight.
When Vazdik tried to pivot, he pivot with him and threw an uppercut like bang. I'm like, oh, and I did a film study on Better Biv, bro. He throws shit. Better Biv be throwing some stuff in there, bro. Excuse
And
my
he's a little
language.
old. He's not even young like that.
No, and that's why I think he's as good as he is, bro. He really seasoned. Like at that age he is. Cause 38, he's like an 80s baby for real. Like Man, a nigga, he could scrap, bro. Better be if can scrap. But I did notice that Vosdick was doing some stuff. And Vosdick, I think, hurt his hand in that fight.
Speaking of the '80s, man, I miss the '80s, even though I was a little kid. When I watch old boxing cards from the '80s, on YouTube, you could look up a certain fight, and it'll show you
Hmm.
the whole HBO telecast, the breakdown, the little mini
Oh
documentary in
yeah, they be having
between.
many docs on that joint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
HBO was the best, but if you watch the ones from the '80s, bro, they would play the old '80s music. You know,
Yeah, they have many docs. Yeah, watch Better
yeah.
Bev when you get a chance, bro. He a little. It's not like he awkward, but he kind of got like that Caucasian stiffness a little bit. But he got skills, bro. Like I watched some of his highlights. He be doubling up. He got some shit, bro. He be throwing some decent combinations, bro. Better than decent. He one of them people to go to the body and come up with the uppie up through the middle. He be going to the body on both sides and then running uppies like bang, bang, uppie up the middle. Come to the other side, uppie. Then put a he be throwing combinations too. That's why I was saying they make it seem like he just come in there like the Terminator and knock you out with a hard shot. No, better be if be boxing. He be jabbing. He steady be working, bro. He come in, he be throwing a double jab like young, young, sharp down the pipe, young, young, right hand, 1, 2, boom, boom, good 1, 2. Like he got good fundamentals. Like better BF can fight, bro. It's about to be a hard fight with him and Bivol though, because when I think about it, Bivol got size. He about Bivol a good 5'11", 5'10", 5'11", and he got the size, bro.
Let me ask you
Like
something real quick. That tank card, is that really gonna be the whole card where we're gonna have Boo Boo versus David Morrell, um, Benavidez versus somebody at 175, and of course, who else on the card?
yeah, I think they were saying that really was the drum.
That's a good card, bro. That's like
That's what they were
remind
saying.
that reminds me of the Don King era, man. Don King used to put on the best cards, bro.
Don King had to work.
I remember he had a card, the whole card. It was called the rematches. That
Yeah,
was
that
the
sound
rematch.
hard.
The rematch was Chavez versus Frankie Randall Part Two. Julian
Yeah.
Jackson fought Gerald McClellan Part Two. Terry Norris against Simon Brown Part Two, and I think it was and I
Woo!
think it was Gabriel Ruelas against Jesse James Leha. That was the whole card, bro.
Bro,
That
that's
was
a
the whole
tough
card.
card.
Yeah, those are all rematches,
They need to
world
start
championships.
doing that again.
You know what it is though? See, back then I don't think the fighters were getting paid as much now, so it was easier to put that type of card. Now everybody wants over $1 million for a title fight. Cause
But
even this
listen,
tank
bro,
fight,
you take listen. If these promote and there's no excuse because I know how money works. If you take the zone top rank PBC Golden Boy and any one of them fighters that lost and won with each other, and you put a rematch card on and co-promote it, man, that'd be tough. A rematch card, and
yeah, look, bro.
you start boxing should listen. This sound crazy, but boxing should have cards that are available every year, and you just get your name in them, like a
This shows you
rematch
how good
card.
that card was. This is how good that card was. As great as that tank card looks on paper, right? Those aren't championship fights on the card.
They're not.
Those are good fights. This was all title fight rematches from upsets.
That and that's what I'm saying. That
These were
made
title
so much
fights.
money, bro, because all the rematch make more money than the first one.
And bro, these were guys on the card that were on the pound for pound list. Mind you, this was Chavez. Gerald McLennan was on the pound for pound list. Terry Norris, Julian Jackson. Come on, bro. These were real cards. I wish Don King had the inventory today like he had back then, bro, because he makes shit happen.
Yeah, Don King was Heems. For the rematch card, they
Yeah,
need to
look it
put
up.
that
It's the
together.
rematches. Yeah, he had very good cards.
I
He
remember
was a
that
very good
card.
promoter.
I remember looking at and studying some of the fights that was available on that card, and
Yeah,
I didn't know
it,
it was a rematch card.
it was called, the whole card was called the rematches.
That's
Yep.
tough.
He had another card because, like I said, I was watching these fights heavy in the early '90s at my uncle's crib, and I remember he had a card where he had Chavez versus Frankie Randall. No, he had Chavez versus Meldrick Taylor, the rematch. On the undercard, you
Mm,
had Trinidad against Joey Boy Campos, who was 56-0 at the time. You
mm,
had you had Ricardo Finito Lopez on the card. I remember when he had Lennox Lewis versus Tony Tucker, right? On that same
mm.
card, you had Roy Jones versus B Hop on the undercard. Come on, man. Where you see that?
Man, what? That
Roy
is
Jones versus B
crazy
Hop. The
talk.
first time they fought for the vacant belt that James Toney left behind, that was on the undercard of Tony Tucker and Lennox Lewis, if I'm not correct.
That's buffoonery that a card
Yeah,
was that great.
yeah. This was a lot. It wasn't just one card. He did a lot of cards like that, bro. If you go on Google certain cards and like the poster of the card, you're gonna see it. It'll break the whole
Yeah,
shit
them
down.
posters will really show you like to them level of them cards.
Yeah, Don King was on another level.
He had that clout. Remember people really think this going to Saudi is something like Don King had Ali and Zaire, bro. Like before people was really doing things. Remember Ali couldn't scrap in the States or something.
Yep,
And he took him to Africa, bro. Hello?
yep.
Oh,
Yeah, Don
okay.
King was really doing cards.
Yeah, Don King was really doing bars. he really he really had bars out here. Mr. Donathan. You had him, buddy.
Yep, he needs to
Shit,
stay.
he even
He's
signed
good for
Adrian
boxing.
Broner and got him a scrap.
Yeah,
like,
he just signed Blair the Cobb.
oh, yeah.
Blair
And that means
Blair
he probably
Flair.
about to fight AB.
That, you know what? That's a marketable fight.
Yeah, that's what that mean, buddy. That could mean that. Listen, AB could be a 140 champ again.
Nah, not right now,
No,
bro.
AB is in 147.
Yeah, but he's not beating other champs at 140. The only one I give him a shot at beating will be
No, he could be
Broner.
a
I mean
147 champ.
Rolly.
No, he could be a 147 champ. Like
Who
Boots
could he
is the
beat at
only one.
147?
You got to see the. I looked the 147 up on BoxRec, bro. Ain't no. I mean, on boxing scene, it is nobody there.
No, there's nobody there.
Listen, bro, he could be. It's the where Adrian Broner, I think, is like in the top 10 in 147 in one of the sanction bodies, if I'm not mistaken, the WBA or something. He could clearly be a champion again.
Yeah, like I said, that division is not stacked like that though.
It's not. Watch out, Leo. Get out of my face. Yeah, it ain't really deep like that. Pause.
Besides Bud and Boots, Conor Ben don't even fight. And even though Conor Ben is listed as a welterweight, he ain't there like that. You know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was looking at the welterweight. I'm like, Connor Ben, Adrian Broner can be a champion again at welterweight.
Yes, he can.
Cause I was like, damn, ain't nobody even there. Like, you can come in there and just take it over. The only person you probably will have some any problem with is Stanionis because he got that rugged style look like.
Yeah, I never even seen Stanley only fight before.
Like he kind of looked like Pitbull, kind of like his posture, but he like an Eastern European.
Oh, okay, I heard he was decent, but like I said, I
Yeah,
never
he
seen
is
him fight.
decent. He is pretty decent.
All
So we
right.
got 12. We gotta say 13 guests, but it's 12 and 12.
What you say?
Say we got 13 guests in John.
13 people in the building.
Yeah, 13 people, but
It's all
no,
good.
it's actually 12. 12 and
You was
12.
right what you was telling me about though. I remember you told me that when you do the live, sometimes people, not too many people might be on it, but then they'll tune in later and you get the views later because that's what happened with the last joint I did.
Yeah, no, like people watch the playback because they sometimes you do them at like times where they not. That's why Ness has it down to where he's doing it in the morning, soon as before people wake up, or right at 9 when they going into work or driving into work and they can tune in, and right when they get off work.
Their show got better though. I ain't gonna lie to you. The boxing show, boxing voice got better. There was one point where the show was getting boring. This is when he first moved to Vegas and they were just doing the show from the studio in Vegas and it was mostly based on interviewing people at the studio. It wasn't the same energy opposed to when he does it at the house. He could be
Oh
himself and
yeah, and the fans calling in and yeah.
yeah, people were calling it, but it just wasn't the same. The show got kind of like stale, but then it got better again. And then that was you on it, and he got Amin. Amin is pretty good, and because Amin knows his, see, everybody brings something to the table. Amin, he does his homework, but he's mostly into the women boxing. That's his thing, right? And
Yeah,
then
I heard him talking about that.
yeah, he's really passionate about women boxing. His channel, shout out to Amin, the championship rounds. He I did a live with him before. But he specializes on women's boxing. That's his alley the most. That's what he likes. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
the
no, I
other
seen
dude
you
that
talking about that.
yeah, the other dude that next guy on the show is pretty good too. Marco.
Yeah, no, Marco cool.
Yeah.
Marco was seeing some of my work because they hadn't seen it, and he was just like, "No, you can punch. Like you throw some short punches." Like I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think Ness really know what he be talking about sometimes." Cause
Yeah.
I literally Marco like I just sent Marco some work. Like, bro, I used to be busting people's packs, and I
Well, you
don't
said, well,
care
you
if
sent them
you.
sparring or you sent them fights.
I sent him sparring and some scraps, but he said he watched one of my fights on my own, on his own. I mean,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, you did?" I was like, "What you think?" He was like, "No, bro. Like, I could the dude you was in there with, I could tell he had no business being in there with you." And I was like, "Yeah, bro, but is no matter all my fights, if when you really look at them, that's what they look like. The only thing is missing is the actual experience from doing it over and over, tightening up on small mistakes that I made and little stuff like that. Once you have a tough fight, fights don't get tough no more. Like you start knowing how to neutralize shit, make them easier. Even if
How
it
many
listen,
fights you had
bro,
total?
8.
You won
Like
all
I
8 of
could
your
have fought,
fights.
huh?
You won all 8 fights, right?
Yeah. Like all 8 fights, if I wanted to, I could have choose the box everybody, and they would have not done nothing. Like they wouldn't have landed one punch. I would have just boxed them, not let them not land nothing, and then eventually just stop them. But it's like some of these guys don't even be good like that. So those are the time for you to work on certain thing under the lights. Real talk. Like you're not gonna get that experience nowhere else. So you definitely want to be working those type of things, like certain things under the lights when you're in there with people who are less than. That's how you really get that. Like I seen Floyd doing it. Like he'd just be working, carry. They call it carrying a guy, getting your rounds in. You know he not there to beat you, but you're gonna get your rounds in. because even though it's a stay busy fight, you can work some things, put some things together in real time. That's what made Floyd good, how he is. He worked some of his things during fights, like fighting lesser competition. Like I used to be like, damn, he in there carrying this man. Like you could have been stopped him. Like he just moving around and doing different shit. Like I'm like, damn, it's what he used to be doing. I used to be like, sheesh, get the rounds in. People don't be doing that. They don't even have the ability to do that because the person they in there with might stop them.
Early Floyd was getting a lot of knockouts.
Yeah, early Floyd, one fight of Floyd's that he carried somebody, then the referee stopped it was Victory. Is it Victory?
Victoriano Sosa,
Victoriano Sosa. Yeah,
Dominican do Cotto fought him too.
that was a good fight because dude was tough. He could take a shot. Floyd got some rounds in, but then the referee eventually stopped it because Floyd was hitting him with too much sharpness.
Where would you rate Floyd in your top 10 all time?
Honestly, like we just talking about straight boxing, right?
All time period.
Man, I gotta say number one. Like, man, that nigga can really scrap, bro. I literally watched him so much that anytime I had trouble with somebody sparring or doing anything, I knew exactly what to do because I'd be like, well, I've seen Floyd do this. And just like how you said you watch Oscar,
Mhm. I watched a lot of guys, but Oscar was one of the first guys that I started studying because my uncle was telling me to study him. He was like, "Watch
I
Oscar. Look how
studied
he
Floyd.
jabs."
Listen, bro, that man do so much different stuff in the ring. People need to watch that first Luis Castillo fight, man. He was switching from southpaw to right-handed.
That fight was not a robbery, bro. A lot of people say that all the time. I think the commentators made it seem that way, but to me, that was not a robbery at all.
Listen, watch that fight again, bro. Floyd was doing so many moves.
That wasn't
Footwork.
a
Listen,
robbery,
I
bro.
had Floyd's career collection. That's why. Some boxing junkie. So like early
That
Floyd, like he used to be doing stuff in there you never seen before.
that's the DVDs in the white. It comes in the white
Mhm.
thing, right? Yeah,
Yes,
I
sir.
got the I got Pernell Whitaker. I
I
got
still
Pernell
got.
Whitaker boxing junkies, and I got Miguel Cotto.
Listen, I had Pernell Whitaker's, Floyd's, and Sugar Ray Leonard's. And listen, Pernell Whitaker. Listen, people don't know his early fights. He was like a fucking Harlem Globetrotter of boxing, bro. He was doing moves you never seen.
Yeah,
Like I remember one fight, bro. Was he knocked dude out with some crazy. He was the way he was just bang
he
man. He
had some
did some
scary.
upper.
He had for somebody that wasn't considered a puncher, bro. He had some scary knockouts.
Mhm. Listen, when his first 12 fights on that career collection, bro, he was doing so many. No, I want to say like his first 15. He was doing some different type of stuff in there. He was classes above people.
You saw when he fought Roger Mayweather.
Mhm.
Pernell used to get dropped though, because sometimes he used to be off balance because he'd be bending all the way down, but he wasn't getting dropped because he was hurt his chin or anything like that. But you want to know how much dog Pernell Whitaker had? A lot of people don't know. When he fought Trinidad, he was way past his prime and he lost that fight. Pernell Whitaker got his jaw broken in the second or the third round of that fight with Tito, and he still went the distance.
I thought Roger Mayweather cracked him.
No, but Roger Mayweather did crack him.
But then he cracked Roger.
Yeah, Roger used to go down, and Roger had a weak chin.
Hmm.
I mean, Chavez busted his pack twice.
I remember when Rogers was in there with, I think it was Vinny Pazienza, or
Yeah, he did fight Vinny Pazienza.
man, he busted his back.
Do you remember a Jamaican fighter named Livingston Bramble?
Hmm.
I mean, he busted Ray Mancini's pack.
Man, I remember. I watched that fight. How you say his last name again?
His name was
Livingston.
Livingston
Yeah,
Bramble.
Bramble. That is his name. Bramble with a B. That's why I haven't seen it in a long time.
That's what I'm saying. That
But
'80s, right? That 135 era in the '80s was
he used
no
to wear his
joke.
hair and like look like kind of like not
It
dread,
was a
not
dread.
locks, but like
Yeah, he fought.
singles.
You know who busted his pack? Edwin Rosario, the one that
Hmm.
fought Camacho. That era at 135, you had Hector Camacho, you had Ray Mancini, you had Vinny Paz, you had Roger Mayweather, you had Edwin Rosario, you had Livingston Bramble, you had Pernell Whitaker was coming up at the time. He was young, but he was still part of the weight class. But he was more like a prospect at that time. You had a you had Cornelius Bozar Edwards, another African.
I
You had
remember
a
him.
you had a real deep lightweight division in the '80s, bro.
Livingston Bramble, bro, was decently awkward and strong.
Let me let me look up some shit on YouTube. Yeah, let me show you. Yeah, he was strong. He got hurt bad when he fought Rosario. You know what we got to talk about one day on a live, the hardest punchers ever at 135 pounds, bro. We can talk about some of that
Listen,
shit
man,
now.
his
You think
name
about
is
some you think about some of the
Roberto
biggest punchers,
Duran.
right? Yeah, but we're gonna name a lot of them though, right? When you talk about
Hmm.
135, you got Duran, right? As much of the puncher as Tank is, I can't even put Tank at the top because look at the guys that came from 135, right? And that was still knocking dudes out. You got Oscar De La Hoya was all knockouts at 135. He was still knocking dudes out at 154. Sugar Shane
Hmm.
Mosley at 135, another killer puncher.
And Sugar Shane
Edwin
Mosley was good
Rosario,
too, fam.
yeah, Edwin Rosario, another puncher. Javante, Roberto Duran. You had a lot of big punches at 135. Manny Pacquiao,
Hmm.
Marquez. Marquez can punch.
Hmm.
Who you think punch harder, Marquez or Chavez?
Hmm. Chavez, because he's not as fast, and I mean he probably got heavier blows, and he mess your face up. Your face
I
get
think Mark.
messed up because them punches is heavy. Marquez would knock you out faster because he can land his money punches the lead uppercut, man. He can land that. Them uppercuts.
Yo, remember what I was telling you about the '80s? Look at this. Look what I'm watching now. Like the old HBO telecast. Let me see if I can turn the camera on. I could do that. Is there work? All right. Look.
Mm-hmm. See, that's skill, bro. They're working. That's skill. They used to be working back then. Spit my apple out.
That was those were classic fights back then.
Mm-hmm. They used to be working.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The skill level is not the same because some guys that probably weren't even at the top were still levels above guys today.
Man, them Livingston Bramble and Mancini would have been busting packs today.
Mancini was another one that was a big puncher,
Mm-hmm.
and he caught a body in the ring. Also, not to glorify that, but he caught one
No,
too.
he literally caught a body though, bro. That is
He
not
caught the
even. We
Korean. He
don't
killed the
have to
Korean guy.
glorify it. He glorified it with the body. He
Yeah.
glorified himself.
Look at this. You see how different boxing is. Look, look at that right there. Right. This is a championship fight. Look at the ages, bro. 23 years old, 26 years old. Bramble was a champion. Rosario was already a former champion. Already had gotten in work with Camacho and Jose
Damn, at
Luis Ramirez.
26,
You
Shushu is
got
that Shushu's age. Shushu, they were saying Shushu was ready. We were talking about Shushu earlier, saying he's clearly ready for a title shot.
this is 220 something year old guys in a championship fight. You don't see that like that, bro.
That's what I'm saying when people was like, man, he needs some more work. I was like, no,
Look
he
at this.
don't.
Tail of the tape. Look at this. Bramble already been in there twice with Mancini. Rosario was already in there with Montoya and Camacho. These dudes was getting work already in their 20s. Look at that shit. That's crazy,
Real
bro.
work, bro. They was not ducking nothing.
Nah, at all.
And that's what I'm saying. They was not ducking no work out here, bro. I can't hear you. You hit the mute.
Let's hit the mute.
Oh no, you good now?
No, I ain't the mute. Yeah, no.
I thought I couldn't hear you for a minute.
Yeah. Look, the fight's already over. Let me show you this. You won't get flagged for this,
Yeah,
right?
I'm not sure.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, so you can't be. He was punching. Ooh, that's what they what see. They is
He's
not
working though.
working like that. Listen, bro, they are not working like that. Look at them punches. They technical, bro. Look at them shots, bro. Them is shots.
Yeah.
You
So he went to
can
that
look
body
at
shot.
the bro. That's some good shit. Ooh, he throwing pieces, boy.
Yeah,
He.
Rosario was he was a deadly puncher.
I remember. Ooh,
This is the second round.
is he bloody?
He done. He finished him.
See, that's
That's
what I
when I
was.
knew Chavez was for real. Because when I saw Chavez fought Rosario, that's when Chavez became the champ at 135, right? He fought Rosario. He was coming forward, putting pressure on Rosario, beating him up to the ropes, and he was taking some big shots, and he was just taking them like nothing. That's when I knew Chavez was something different.
Yeah,
Because
no,
Rosario was punching for real, and
no,
Chavez was just
yeah,
walking forward. Like he didn't care what you was doing. I'm breaking you down, and that's that.
yeah. You gotta be a grown man to do that.
Yeah. Let me see if I
You
can find the
gotta
highlights to
be.
that joint. Yeah.
Shit, dog. I need to get. I'm about to lay it down. I'm through
Yeah.
ski.
Yeah, I'm about to
Like,
yeah get
hey,
myself together
listen,
too,
tell
man.
them where they could reach you, blood, cause we be working on here. I've been
Yeah.
doing lives all day for real.
See. You can reach me at Low Nose Boxing, LO, and then Nose, like I know what I'm talking about, Nose with a S at the end, Boxing on YouTube and on Instagram as well, man. Thank you for having me on the channel, bro.
Hey, listen, when you hit me and say it's time to go live, we're gonna get some work. And I was already doing a live. I
I
ended
see.
it, and then we got this work 90 minutes, bro, in the books.
Yeah, I was on.
90
Yeah,
minutes and 30 seconds and
I
counting.
was. I was on. I did an hour and a half the other day with Masuma TV. He's another good one too. You gotta watch his channel. He's pretty good. He talks real technical boxing too. He's a Philly former boxer. You know what I mean? Got a little gym over there. He got a good channel as well. He talks technical boxing and stuff like that.
And listen, bro, I just want to give your earphones. They need to have their own channel.
Yeah, these shit is crazy. Kenichi Bear. Ness is the one that put me onto these because Ness be promoting them all the time. So I'm like, you know what? Let me
Oh,
order
I
these
was
joints.
wondering. He said I thought he said you had to have a switchboard to use them.
No, the
Like
Kenichi Bears. That's
I'm
what they
about to
call it.
get some of them Jones.
Yeah,
What they an Asian brand?
I don't even know. I don't
Kanichi
know.
Bears.
Kenichi Bears. Yeah, it got like a bear logo on it. It light up. You can use it for gaming and all that. I be playing my PlayStation with it. And then I think you gotta get the discount code because I ain't used the code. I forgot it, but ask Ness about it. There's a code. I think it's TBV, and you'll get it for a lower price. I
Oh
paid 200
yeah, I
for
need
them.
to get them. Them Jones is hard for the blogging, and then I can
Yeah,
say my earphone. They got the micro. The microphone is what make it lit.
yeah, and you can take it out. You know, if you want to go to the gym and work out, you can work out with it. Take the mic off. You know, that's what's good about it.
Oh yeah, that's tough. Shit, I'm gonna hit blood tomorrow. Let me know if you get if you want to do any videos. We can go. I'll come on your joint. You can send me a link.
Got it, bro. God bless you. Have a good one.
Or you too. One. Listen, man, we about to go. My man Dave, that was some good work. He said we got good chemistry. Yeah, two Leos, man. We love our boxing. We know our talk. You know that's it. But man, listen, we'll get with y'all. I'll get with y'all tomorrow. I'm about to lay down, chill, mind my business, and relax. Y'all need to hit the cash app. His channel is Low Nose Boxing. LO and then Nose Boxing. Low Nose. Hit the cash app. We're about to call it a day, a night. We gotta mail some stuff off tomorrow. Some bills, checks, Federal Reserves, monies. Gotta know. Send these monies out. Y'all have a good one.